Hello and welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to be discussing 10 tips that you are going to want to know if you're just starting out on Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. The first thing I want to touch on is navigation around the map, because it's something I was struggling with and it felt quite annoying until I learned this tip. Now, when you've got a quest marked on your map and you scan using your senses, you will see like the blue highlight of the direction you need to go. But if you're not scanning, that disappears and then there's no other marker to let you know where you need to be heading. So you're constantly scanning just to see where this is. To set that marker in the first place is very easy to do. When you're in your quest menu, you can start tracking whatever quest you want to track, and that's what gives you that sort of like blue highlight on your scan. Well, here's a tip that I think you're going to find very helpful. So let's say I want to track the Eye of Iwa. Now, once I've started tracking this, I've got an option to show it on the map. So I'm going to click to show it on the map, and you'll be able to see it here. You'll see the glow on the map of where you need to go. Now, what I recommend that you do to make things a little bit easier while navigating around the map is that you can then just set a waypoint on where you need to go. Now, once you've set a waypoint, if you come out of your map, you then see on your compass at the top of the screen that waypoint. This gives you a marker that you can see so you know the direction you need to be heading without having to scan all the time. I suggest that you use this method not just on quests, but when you need to travel anywhere on Pandora. Early in the game, your only method of getting around the map from point A to point B is by your feet. And it's quite a big map. There's going to be a lot of running. But lucky enough, there's a quest that you're going to come up to called Song of the Ancestors. And once you've completed this quest, you will unlock the ability to fast travel. Now, I highly recommend that you explore, and you want to unlock some of these resistance field labs. Once you've done them, they will appear as green dots on your map. And once you've completed them and you powered them up, they're going to act as fast travel points. So when you do need to travel from point A to point B, just have a look at these, because you may be able to fast travel around the map just to make things a little bit quicker. You can also fast travel to other primary locations on the map, like the home tree. And then when you advance even further into the story, the quest called the Eye of Iwa is going to unlock an Ikran for you. You'll bond with an Ikran and eventually be able to fly around the map also. Next, I want to discuss loot rarity. There are 3 different types of rarity in the game, whether this is food that you find, other items, or gear. It all works the same, and the rarity item, the better stats you're going to get. It's as simple as that. And the loot rarity is shown by the different colors that the item is. If you've got an item that is green looking, it is going to be a rarity of fine. Purple is going to be superior, and I don't have a yellow one to show you, but yellow is going to be exquisite. Loot rarity matters when we're going to be looking at combat strength. Your combat strength is basically your character level, and it goes up to a maximum of level 20. The only way to increase this combat strength is by equipping weapons, putting mods on your weapons, and equipping gear in your loadout. Having rarer items on you are going to give your items higher stats, which are going to further improve your combat strength. Completing quests and side activities are a great way to unlock new items for your character, but also looting items while you're going about in the open world is another great way. So make sure you're always scanning when you're in areas to find crates like this, because you can get some good items from them. Although looting items is a great way to increase your combat strength and get better gear, you're going to unlock designs as you get new items that you can then go and craft at crafting stations. Now, we're at the home tree here, and here's the crafting station, but you can also find these at RDA outposts that you find. So once you find these, they appear on the map as green dots, and once you power them up, you'll also find crafting stations there. In the crafting station, you'll be able to see how many designs that you've unlocked. And again, this is based on the loot that you find or given by completing side activities or quests. So let's have a look at the waistcloth, where I've got 2 designs available to me right now. We've got a fine crafting design for a gatherer waistcloth, or a superior crafting design for a dyer waist strap. Now, the superior is going to be better, and remember, you can get exquisite as well, which will be even better. And it's going to improve the stats on my character. You can see here on the fine one, I'm going to get health between 15 and 95, but on the superior it's going to be between 27 and 190. Now, when we go into this design, you're going to have to use resources to craft it. And it's going to be the rarity of these resources that's going to affect what level of gear you're going to get. So I've got the lionberry fiber here to put in the first slot, and it's both fine. So it's going to give me 19 health. If I had superior or exquisite here, it'd be even higher. And you can see as well, it's also going to add a perk to the piece of gear I'm crafting. I'm going to get 5% weak spot damage for these items. So we're going to put that into that slot there. And for the second slot, it requires a tooth. We've got different rarities here. The green rarities of the tooth will give me different variants of health there, between 12 and 14. And the superior one is going to give me 22 or 21 health. So you can see how it works there and how you can better your gear. And again, they come with their own little perks. So for this Viper Wolf Tooth, it's going to give me 5% wildfire damage. I'm going to go for the higher one then at 22 health. And then once I've filled out the 2 slots, I'm able to craft the item. And we can see in the bottom right hand corner here what we're going to get. We're going to get the Dire Race Strap with 41 health. It can go to a maximum of 190 though. So looting the rarer items will be very beneficial. This piece will give me 10% stealth, 5% weak spot damage, and 5% wildlife damage. Just hit F to craft or whatever button it is for you, and then you're gonna have your new item to improve your build and improve your combat strength. All that's left to do now is to go back to your loadout and equip your new item to increase your combat strength, and craft as many items as you can to improve your build. And then, as well as looting and crafting, you can also purchase items from vendors. Right next to the crafting station in the home tree, we can speak here to this NPC who's going to have some items for sale. So this is another great way to get some items, but also unlock some designs for the crafting station. They sell mods. I've got a heavy bow there, a longbow, and materials I can buy as well. There are numerous NPCs that you're going to find like this throughout the game that's going to sell your items, but also they have designs too, so it's well worth checking out that tab. These will be free. Grab any design that they'll give you because they'll be able to craft them later. And how you purchase materials from these NPCs is there's no sort of currency to buy them as coins or anything like that, or no use to these NPCs in Avatar. It works on a favor system. Now, in the bottom right hand corner here, you can see how much favor we have gained on this spiral. Now, you just want to keep on completing quests, keep on completing side activities, and this will fill up. As you fill up your favor spiral, you can then come to these NPCs and purchase items. As you hover over the item, you'll see how much of the favor spiral that is going to cost. So if you don't have enough, you won't be able to purchase it. If you do have enough, you'll be able to receive it. Now let's discuss resources. I'm just going to head back to the crafting station for this. Let's say you have a design that you want to use. So I'm going to go to my chest guard here because it's currently just fine, and I want to improve it to a superior one, which I've got here. I've got a design for a superior chest piece. I just don't have the resources to craft it. I am lacking. So if we click into this here, you can see that I have none of this primary material, and it requires any moss. From here, I can just hit Z to go into the Hunter's Guide. This is also just a tab on your main menu, and it's going to show me the exact item that I need. If you go into the Hunter's Guide without going through the crafting station, it will show you everything that's available by default. So once you found what you're looking for, all you got to do to go and find that item in the world is hit pin. Once it's pinned, look at the top right hand corner of the screen here. We've got 3 spaces where we can pin items that we want to find. When you're scanning in the open world, it basically just gives it a yellow highlight to make it easier to spot, but you can only pin a maximum of 3 items. If you're full, you won't be able to pin, so just come up here and remove pins for anything that you're not looking for. But for things that you are looking for, you can come and check the pin out, and it'll tell you where you can find them. So for this bruised moss that we're looking for, it's most commonly found on rocks in water throughout Kingler Forest. But rarer bruised moss is often found on rocks in the waters of Dyer's Bowl in the Spinner's Circle domain in the Kingler Forest. So it shows you exactly where you can get it from. And if you get the rarer one, obviously you're going to get better stats. It also advises you on the best quality, so I'll get an even better quality of item if I pick it when it's in the rain. Now let's head to the map and go and find this item. So on the map, if I zoom right out, you can see Kingler Forest where we are at. I can also press X here just to show the item on the right hand side of the screen so I can see what I'm looking for again. But as I zoom in slowly, it's going to then bring in all the different districts. Now we're looking for the Dyer's Bowl and Spinner's Circle for the more rarer version of what we want. So Spinner's Circle's just over here. So we zoom into Spinner's Circle, you know exactly where you want to go searching. And Dyer's Bowl, I've already explored there, so I've got that on the map. I know exactly where I want to go. So I'm going to mark a waypoint there and head to Dyer's Bowl. You're also able to show biomes by just pressing C. This will just let you know what type of biome it is as well. So just in case you want something like best quality rain, it's a rainforest biome where we're going, so we've got a chance of rain here. With the items pinned, they are going to highlight yellow for you as you get close enough without even needing to scan. And when you do scan, again, they will highlight yellow just to distinguish them from any other items that may be in your scan, which is normally like a shade of blue. So just find the item, gather it, and while you're picking it, you have gone through the picking tutorial very early in the game, and it kind of says that you got to pick it right to get the best quality, and you got to watch the vibrations, right? Well, don't worry too much. You'll still get the higher rarity no matter how you pick it. It's just that the better you pick it, the better the stats may be. You'll notice that I got it pristine there, but I didn't have it in the rain, so it's not as good as it can be, and I got a fine version of the item. You can continue to explore the area and scan to try and find more to get a better rarity of what you want. And if you're struggling to find some, you can always fast travel away and come back in hope that more will spawn in. Once you're happy with the quality of the item that you have found, just head back to a crafting station and you can now craft the item that you farmed for. So I'm going to go back into this superior chest here. We'll start crafting and we've got these bruised mosses here that we can use. I didn't find any superior, so I've only got fine, so I'm not going to have the best stats on there. But we're going to just equip both of these and it's going to be an improvement to what I've already got, which will increase my combat strength. It is a good idea to collect as many items and resources as you can from your loadout screen. If you head into the pouch, you can see everything that you've got here. And if you do fill up too much, you'll run out of space. I've actually had items drop on the floor that I've not been able to pick up because I've been full. So you do want to manage your inventory. Make sure you're crafting regular. And you do have a stash at the home tree to put things in if you want to. The stash here is just right next to the crafting station at home base. Just go into your stash and put whatever you want in there. You're limited to 200 items though, but it will free up space for you so you can keep on looting. Another thing to mention, if you do miss items like I did, when you go into your pouch, there's a section right at the bottom here that will show you missed items. Once you have freed up space, those items are not lost. I can come here and move to my inventory, which is a very good system so you don't feel like anything is ever wasted. We're now moving on to health management. This is explained in the game very well, but we're going to go a little bit more in depth. The top bar there is your health bar, which is the green bar, and the bottom bar there is basically your energy. Notice the two little dots to the left of the health bar as well. There's resources that you can find while you're going on your travels that will fill these dots up, and they allow you to heal. They're like medkits. As your health goes down, it will automatically regen providing that you've got enough energy. And if you need a quick heal or you don't have enough energy but you need to recover your health, you can press the Z key on PC. I'm not sure what it is on console, but to use one of those dots or medkits to recover your health. You're going to want to eat food regular to keep your stamina up so that you can recover health while you're playing. If you just bring up this menu here and go over to food, you've got a food inventory here that you can just eat on the fly to bring that stamina up. I'm just going to use this fresh RDA ration that I've got now just to recover that energy, and you'll notice that my energy goes to full with that. So now I've got health regen if I need it. So make sure you're doing that regular and make sure you have plenty of food on you. You get food by killing animals and other things in the open world. You can loot it as well, so keep an eye out for food. And one other thing you can do is cook food. Back at the home tree near to where the crafting station is, you're gonna have this cooker is what I'm going to call it, and you can cook food here. So with the food that you find, I highly recommend that you do this because you're going to be able to cook some better quality food. And not just that, it's going to give you some like perks when you eat it, which are real good. So coming to the cooker, it'll show you everything that you've got on you that you can use, and you've got to use 2 items, and you can mix and match what you want to create various different foods with various different effects. So let's use this fatty meat here, and we're going to mix it with the Fortune's fruit. I'm then going to cook that, and it'll come out as an item with a perk on it. And that item is a meat and fruit roast. It's superior as well. It's going to give me 100% energy when I eat it. And I also get the bark skin perk for 25 minutes, where I take 30% less damage from wildfire and RDA. I can eat it now if I want to, or I can just store it for later. There are going to be so many different combinations that you can do to get different perks, and I'm going to aim to do a different video around that when I learn those combinations, so you know exactly what it is that you want to find to come and cook. Again, it's using the rarity system. Again, you can see that there's some superior items, there's some fine items, and I've got 2 superior left, so let's just do them to see what they do. We've got some blaze fruit there, and I've also got some creamy plant milk. We're going to cook that. And what this has given me is a creamy fruit salad. Again, I get 100% energy from eating that. And I get the hearty 2 perk for 25 minutes, where I gain 35% base health. I suggest that you cook as often as you can, and you make as many meals as you can, and you just store them in your stash. Food is a very valuable resource, so make sure you're not wasting any of the items that you get, and make sure you're doing this on a regular basis. Food doesn't just affect your health. Later on in the game, when you do get the Ikran to fly, you're not going to be able to boost using the Ikran without energy, so you're going to want to keep your energy up at all times. And one more thing, when you are interacting with the cooker, you can view a list of your recipes. You can select favorites, and you've got a whole list of everything that you have cooked. So you won't know these until you cook them, so experiment with everything. But once you've done it once, you can come here and you can have a look at each recipe, what they do, and what you need to cook them. So you can go and farm for them again and decide which ones are your favorites for you to cook and use when you want to. You can just select the recipe to automatically fill the ingredients, and on your favorite menu you can favorite anything that you've recently cooked, so it's on your favorite list. So in between cooking and crafting, you're going to gather a lot of resources. We've already discussed you can store them in your stash to save space, up to 200 items, but there's going to be a lot of items that you just don't want anymore, especially on your gear as you get better gear. Next to the crafting station at the home tree, you're going to notice this item here where you can contribute. I just want to go over this now quickly. If you head into this, it'll bring up your inventory and you're able to contribute items, which is basically just dismantling them and getting rid of them. But it adds to your favor spiral. We spoke about this earlier, where you can use your favor spiral to get goods off NPCs. So to gain some favor, just anything that you don't want, come and contribute. Now, I'd argue that food and crafting materials will always have its place in a way. I guess you may want to contribute some lower rarity items as you get more higher rarity. But with gear, there's always going to be gear that you're not going to want as you keep on equipping better gear. So these are great items to mark for contribution and just improve that spiral there so you can get some better items from NPCs. Just mark anything from your inventory that you want to contribute it, they'll be taken away from your inventory and you'll have some more favor. Moving on to the final few tips now to close off this video. I have been quite informative. I hope it's not been overwhelming. If you've enjoyed the video so far, don't forget to give it a like. I'd appreciate it. Now, we're just going to discuss some more navigation tips from the map. You'll notice as you explore Pandora, there's going to be loads of dots. Now, they're color coordinated. Any blue dot is something that you have discovered, you've been near. Any purple dot, you can see a purple one over there. I've been near it enough for it to appear on the map, but I've not investigated it. So you can have a look at your map, you can head to anything purple to go and discover it, that'll then change to blue, or you can recheck all the blue dots just to see what you have discovered and what they are. Any green dots on the map are things that you have completed. So we got an ancestor skill there, but it's green, so there's no need to go back there. But also you're going to find the resistance field labs that you find throughout the world, which enable you to fast travel to. So they'll be your green dots. And then anything with a flare on it is like a quest or something of importance. We've got the quest that I'm tracking there right now, the Glade of Light. But we see a purple glare all the way over here. They are ancestor skills. Now, these aren't all reachable from the get-go, so I don't suggest going around to get them right away. You need to wait until you've got your income to fly to some of these. But they're just all points of interest that you are going to want to visit at some point. One thing I do want to point out, which I didn't know right at the start of the game, which is very good, are these bell springs. Now, I've discovered quite a few, and I've got a bell spring on the map here. And when you approach one, they're gonna look like this. They'll have this like mist coming off of them. These are very good, and I highly recommend visiting them if you do see them on your map, because if you touch them, you're gonna increase your max health, which is obviously gonna be a benefit of you. So touch as many of these bell springs as you can to permanently increase your health. Another way to improve your health and other attributes is the skill tree. So from your menu, this is what the skill tree looks like. We just discussed the ancestor skills that you can go and find. There's 12 of those in total. The ancestor skill tree looks like this. Nothing special about this, but apart from finding the locations on the map and then interacting with them to unlock different perks, and then you're going to get skill points then to spend into one of these 5 different trees. We've got the survivor tree, the warrior tree, the hunter tree, and the maker tree. Once you have unlocked enough skill points to invest fully into one of these different trees, you will unlock the final unknown memory tree as well. So I guess it would be a good idea to fill out one of these trees as quick as you can to get that unlocked, but go at it how you want to. Have a look at what survivor skills there are, see where you want to invest there. I've invested into the vitality 4 there to get my health increased as quick as possible, but you can go about it how you want. Invest where you want into warrior, the survivor, the hunter, or the maker. And as I said, just know once you've done one completely, you will unlock the final memory. And I may do another video down the line once I've unlocked more skills to advise you on what I'd go for first. Now, just one more tip before we move on from this. If you do solely focus on the main story, you're probably going to get around 20 skill points on your playthrough. So make sure you're doing plenty of side activities as well, because there's 61 skill points in total you need to fill out all trees. Something that is quite easy to miss at the home tree is the daily and weekly quests. If you head up all the way to the top of the tree, and about halfway you'll come to this fork and you're going to head outside. You'll be able to go up higher, but you don't want to go all the way to the top. When you get to this location here, there's going to be a load of NPCs, and you're looking for this guy who's highlighted. If you interact with this guy, he can give you daily and weekly challenges, so make sure you're checking him regular, because by completing these, you're gonna get a resource that you can then use to buy some items off him in his store. So complete daily and weeklies from this guy and have a look at the cosmetic items here, and once you've got enough of the resource that you get rewarded for completing these challenges, you'll be able to buy these items. And finally, the final tip of this video, we're at the home tree again. We're heading back upstairs again, but this time we're just looking for this item that we can find as soon as we get to this first floor. Just head to the left, and if you created your character at the start of the game and you're thinking I want to change it, this item here you can use, and you go back into the character modification menu to adjust your character. This is again handy if you just wanted to change your character because you didn't like what you chose to begin with, but also you are going to unlock things like face paints as you go through the game. So maybe that you want to come here, go to face paints and equip one of the face paints that you've unlocked. And that is everything for this beginner's guide to Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I hope it's been helpful. Again, please do hit that like button if it has been. Subscribe for more content. I'll be making more Avatar content as I go through the game if I think there's anything you need to know. So subscribe for that as it goes live. I appreciate you watching today. Drop a comment down below of any tips that you have. I'd appreciate reading them. But thank you for watching. Stay safe, and until the next video, peace out.